much did your mum and dad know about it? Did you learn new things? And so did they learn new things last night?
Yeah, they learned a lot of things. Mum didn't know much about her granny. Hang on a second, her mum.
Granny who... Granny was in the workhouse.
Annie Nelson.
No, hang on a second. See, it's very confusing. Her mum was a little girl, and then her mum
was in the workhouse.
That's right, yeah. So her granny, yeah.
Yeah.
But she remembers her great-granny. My great-great-grandmother. It's really confusing.
Is that Margaret O'Keefe?
Do you know what? I don't know what that
I'm
bloody
trying to
called.
remember that tree.
One thing I was going to ask.
But that's it, you're right.
Because obviously the camera is on you.
Yeah.
I don't know how they make these programs. I don't really want to know because it kind of ruins the whole mystique.
It's all scripted.
Is it? Yeah. So they're basically, I guess, saying to you, Chris, can you just explain what it is you're looking at and all that sort of stuff? So when you're having to say, right, so this is whoever, Annie Nelson, and this is Margaret O'Keefe. Is there part of you that goes, I don't know what I'm talking about because I don't understand it? Or are you kind of meant to, for the story, help to narrate it a bit?
A few times you kind of get given something to open, so you go, okay.
Yeah.
But there's only a cameraman and a sound man, and then the director, Harvey, kind of stood kind of behind those two. So you're pretty much on your own. You're aware that they're there.
Right.
So I'm reading one thing. So, for example, I'm reading this book about the Dublin workhouses, and I can't read the writing. I can't read it. I just can't read it. I don't know what it is. So what happens is, in the first kind of day or two, you get a little bit embarrassed and you go, oh, wow. All right. Wow, look at that.
Look at that there.
And then you go, I can't read. I'm sorry, I don't know what this says.
Well, that's what I'd worry about.
But then after a while, they go, well, it's all right. Maybe you're not meant to.
You just explain what
so
you're seeing.
Oh, okay, I thought I was a bit thick.
Right.
So I was saying, you kind of get very confident in your ignorance. And as you get more interested in it, you just don't care anymore. So you kind of go, all right, great, cheers. What does that say? I don't know what that says. I can't read it. What's that? So does that mean... And a lot of the times you think you're being a bit thick. Like the very first thing you find out, and I'm going, who's Margaret O'Keefe? Who's she? Who's that woman there? I'm thinking, oh, that's really embarrassing. There's a member of my family that I should know who it is, and I don't know who it is. Because I wasn't meant to know who it is.
No.
That's kind of part of the story.
Yeah.
So once you kind of just get a bit relaxed with it, you just move on. But we went to... blah, blah, blah. We went to the biscuit factory where my mum used to... Granny used to work.
In Jacobs.
They just... that was on a Sunday, and the last biscuits had just rolled off the production line there on the Friday, and they were about to close that factory down. And so the fella gave us a little tour of the factory. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Bearing in mind, it was just finished, and it was like the size of an aircraft hangar, with just conveyor belts and chutes and stuff, and kind of big bins and just the crumbs and broken biscuits all over the floor. Just fascinating.
It's a bit like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but like
and I was
the
thinking,
biscuits.
I wish I'd seen this on Friday. This would have been the most amazing... I mean, she was huge.
I remember going to the Mars factory years ago in Slough,
Really?
where they make Mars bars, they make Twix and all
let's
sorts
go.
of stuff. And you see the Twix when they come down with just the biscuit on, and then with the biscuit and the caramel, and then the biscuit and caramel and the chocolate.
See, that's a dream.
It was
for me.
amazing.
I'd love to see
But
that.
I've seen that Howard Twix is made on the advert. It just floats in the air, and the chocolate just pours on.
That's what happens.
Beautifully.
It was a fascinating tour. Anyway,
We go there?
back to your family.
Now, can we go there?
We could
Can you
ask.
tour around chocolate and cake factories of the UK?
There you go. All right, Rachel.
Wow. Sorry.
You all right, Rachel?
That woke me up.
Who wants to come?
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
got a question.
Yeah.
How did you find the public transport? I noticed you had to go on a tram.
Said that to Nick.
I don't want to talk about it.
You looked very uncomfortable.
I don't want to talk.
You were on a bus.
I know, I said to Mally, I went,
What?
blimey.
You were on a bus.
It was a tram, wasn't
It was
it?
a tram.
Oh, was it tram? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a tram.
Right.
So the way I look at it is, I was abroad.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And,
So
went in
fine.
Rome and all that.
Yeah.
So technically, the only other bad thing about it is the fact that the pieces of crap cars that they gave me
Why
to
did
drive
they hire
around-
you a minibus in Ireland?
Because we all had to travel together.
Oh, I see.
I
But the
see.
shots, though, it just seems daft because there's just you in this huge, great minibus.
With a massive smashed side of it.
Yeah.
Back.
Which the dopey assistant producer did when he scraped it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, great, not only do I look like I drive the world's most bizarre vehicles, but they're also bashed up.
See, they should have like hired you an open-top Jag or something for those shots.
You know, you see Gordon Ramsay's shows, and he's driving up to Scotland something to shoot deer or whatever. You know, he's always in some massive Porsche or 4x4 or something. I was in a Peugeot. I was in an Igo by Toyota.
You know when you were in that cafe bar in Dublin, I think it was, and you were ringing someone like from the records office, or you're waiting to hear back about the birth certificate. Right. Now the risk of ruining telly.
Yeah.
Now, was that just like a set-up shot? I imagine a bit like they do on X Factor when they film the people when they're ringing home to say that they've got through boot camp. Is it one of those things where they say, "Okay, love, can we just get a shot of you ringing the we'll do that again"? Do they do that? Do they do that several times?
Do you know what? No.
Is that just literally once, like as it happens?
Yeah. And then they run upstairs to try and get a shot of you from above while you're still on the phone.
So it's all done in real time?
Yeah.
Because I thought they'd go, right, we want another shot of you walking out looking emotional.
No, it wasn't like that. There was like a little bit of we need to get a shot of you picking your phone up or something, but, you know, there was a very interesting kind of 20-minute period where we're trying to work out how to get the sound of the phone onto the microphone.
Right.
So I'm like, well, I've got a speakerphone. And they're like, yeah, it won't pick it up. So then we had to attach a microphone to the phone, to the speaker. So you can't, and luckily, I tell you what, they did such a good job, you can't see the fact that there's got a microphone sticking out the top of this mobile. All looked a little bit weird, with a wire hanging off it, with a bit of gaffer tape around the top. But did the job.
One of my other favourite bits was when you looked wistfully at clouds.
Yes.
Because that was nice, because it looked as though you were actually looking and pondering, whereas some people in those programmes, when they look at clouds, it looks as though they're just counting some clouds for a bit. I enjoyed that bit.
Thank you.